Yep, that's. Thanks a lot for listening. If you've got any questions, just let's talk afterwards.
This is really because this is what happened. People think that they've done their job, they just okay, so that's it. This is really the point where I really encourage everyone. Everyone has to present and talk about their service, their company, their team, to come up with a clear question. And the question is, what do you want to achieve at the end of this talk? So, good morning, everyone. Today we are going to look at our talk from Matthew Klimke. I hope I pronounced the name correctly, the CEO of Viking, at the very recent AYE in 2019. The talk is 30 minutes, so it's going to be quite hard to address it entirely. So, what I'm going to do is listen to some snippets together with you and analyze how Matthew could have built a different narrative to make this a much more fluid talk, and also then how to position himself in a slightly different way to basically build on his credibility on its expertise while he actually put together this AR try on app. So let's just first focus on the first part and let's see how it does.
Hi everyone. Yeah, thanks for the introduction. My name is Matthew. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Viking, and Viking is a company. It's a computer vision company, and we build AR try-on technology for footwear brands. So the big thing here is that every year there are 23 billion pairs of shoes that are produced, and increasingly all of the like footwear sales are moving online, and a lot of that's also moving to mobile. But it's a great experience buying online, but there's one thing that you're actually currently not able to do, and that's to actually try the shoes on through the smartphone camera. And this is what we've been working on for the last year now. So we've just launched our mobile app and our SDK called Sneak.
So you see, this is a bit like the start. The start is really about going straight on to what is their solution without building any sort of narrative that could have in a way justified all the efforts and what is the result that they have built. So I mean, this is something that he's going to mention afterward. He's going to mention about what are the problems that it solves. But for the sake of the story that is told within these 13 minutes, it is a much better approach to start with what are the problems, the challenges that brands are facing when dealing with online shopping, and is AR a possible solution for this? So, what was the journey that brought them to build this solution, and also why why Matthew is the person that could really make this a reality and bring this to the masses. Now, also the way he mentioned a bit like, and we just announced, we just launched, is also a bit dismissive of all the work that he has done. So a bit of my suggestion is to start building a bit of a story without hyperbolic numbers, without exaggerating what are the markets, because people understand, but just giving a fair overview of what is the problem, what was the journey, and how they learned from the journey in order to come up with what is this solution. That is, I think, a much better approach and a much stronger, providing then also a good narrative. Now, let's see. There was he then start mentioning, showing a bit of how his app works, and then goes basically to here. Right. Let's hear a bit of this part.
Of this technology, and the first one obviously being for closer product engagement.
So mentioning
So
here about different
let's take the
application.
example of StockX, and if they integrate the Viking SDK and the users of the app update their app, then the next time that they're in the app, they would be able to notify their users and say AR try-on is now available. they would get to the product page, then there's an AR try-on button. They tap that. That opens the camera feed, and they're directly able to see what the shoe would look like on them. And this just really allows people to get a lot closer to the product and to really get a feel for how it looks on them. They can use it in the mirror as well. And it's just, it's really a major reason for people to actually even switch platforms. If some of them start to offer this technology, then it's going to become a very expected feature by users.
You see, I hear a lot of doubts. There are a lot of questions, and of course there is uncertainty, right? We cannot expect to have some like innovative technology to have already a market, and it wouldn't be easy. I mean, it's absolutely not easy. What is important is here is to come up with clear statement and come across more assertive. Like, what happened when you show this to people? How did they react it? Have you carried out some tests on a small pool of also friends or people that maybe you met in a store to see how they perceive this, and how many of them actually use the AR try-on button? So from now on, what he does is then go in and basically, he mentioned here something very interesting about KPI, of course, that are needed and provide an extra layer of information to how people engage with this kind of application and are influenced during their customer journey. And then he continues basically mentioning the different application. Now, this I really encourage you to listen to the talk, because he shares a lot of information, and that is maybe a bit also of the downside. The fact that he come across as just sharing information and not making really a link with what he learned and how Viking, the AR app, has been built, is just is it doesn't make a big impact. What would have been a much stronger a much stronger conversation was approaching this from a different perspective, and more of what is that the people in front of you don't know. What can you teach them about try on for e-commerce? Sneaker drop off and gamification is also something very interesting that he talks about, as well as the customization part. But it just feels like just sharing information, and not like he connected. He taught something to the audience, and it was something that they could have found online after a little bit of research. And that's a shame, because I believe that there was a lot of research going on, and a lot of that went into the development of the app. Something that in his story it is missing. I really encourage you to listen, because there are a lot of good points, and it's a shame that they didn't manage to come fully across. One last thing is the last part. I really want to stress it out, because I think it is, after so much work, it's really important to close effectively. Let's hear the last. So we mentioned, of course, about future perspective and how many more things can be done. Let's see if, yeah.
We're building a platform where people will be able to dress themselves up through augmented reality. So you can have the craziest graphics, the craziest outfits, dress yourself up at the tap of a button. This is not, it's not a live, it's not in real time, but it's another way that we see self-expression evolving, that the rest of the body will become the canvas, as we've seen happen with Snap's Lens Studio and Spark AR. We think fashion is also going to move in this direction as well. Yeah, thanks a lot for listening. If you've got any questions, let's talk afterwards. Thank you.
And yeah, so yeah, this is really, because this is what happened. People think that they've done their job. They just, okay, so that's it. Thank you for listening. If you have questions, I mean, this is really the point where I really encourage everyone. Everyone has to present and talk about their service, their company, their team, to come up with a clear question before they start making this, before they start making slides. And the question is, what do you want to achieve at the end of this talk? Do you want to build connection? Do you want to look credible? Do you want to inspire people? Build a story that builds up to that last moment where you then call to action. Like, what is that you want? Why don't you put your email there? Let's build a connection. What are you looking for? What is the next step? What about, for example, looking to connect with other people that are building experiences in the e-commerce? This is good. This is a very targeted call to action. Like, who is there? What can you offer them that they don't know? Uh, this is something that I cannot put in the mouth of Matthew, of course, because they know what's the current stage of their business. They know what they need. But please, please, please think about it. Think about it, because all the efforts that you are making and in building these products, an opportunity to step in on such a great stage like the one on AYE, it's amazing. So you should make the most out of it. How? Well, just to sum it up, build a narrative so that keep people engaged, and don't just share information. Put instead those information as something that you can teach to the people in front of you. Think about what they don't know and how you can reframe those in a way that it adds value to them, so that you end up position yourself as an authority in what you do. And last but not least, end up with a strong call to action that helps you build, reach, and achieve your business goal. I think that's it. If, guys, you want to get help with your next presentation, with your next pitch, please just drop me a message. I'll be glad to have a chat with you, see if I can help you out. And if so, let's start working together. Bye bye.